take a look at an actor who has unfortunately been overlooked by the Oscars. Chuck Norris. For more than 40 years, Chuck Norris has been appearing in movies. Before that, he was a successful martial artist. In fact, he was the first Westerner to achieve an 8th degree black belt in Taekwondo. He was a champion for 6 consecutive years before deciding to star in movies. He first appeared in an uncredited role in The Wrecking Crew, where he had a fight scene with Dean Martin, but it was his appearance in the martial arts classic Return the Dragon that made him famous. He got to fight Bruce Lee in the Coliseum. It's one of the greatest fight scenes ever put on film, and it's cool to see 2 martial arts masters fighting each other. Finally, in 1977, Chuck Norris got his first starring role in the low-budget piece of crap that I will be reviewing today. That film is called Breaker Breaker, which I'm sure Chuck Norris wants to do to every DVD copy of this film. But before we get to that, I want to talk about this movie's release. This film was released on April 1st, according to IMDb anyway. I guess that's where those Chuck Norris jokes come from. Doing a little more research, I found out that none of the cast members ever went on to do any more movies, with the exception of George Murdoch, who went on to play God in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, and Jack Nance, who is best remembered for playing Henry Spencer in David Lynch's mindfuck masterpiece, Eraserhead. Director Don Hewlett only made 2 other movies besides this one. Now, before we get to talking about the actual movie, let's talk about this DVD cover. Now, I don't know who made this cover, but it's all wrong. First of all, Chuck Norris never uses a gun in this movie. Hell, did anybody use a gun in this movie? I don't remember there being any explosions in this movie either. There aren't even any helicopters in this movie. Chuck Norris doesn't even wear that jacket in this movie. His jacket in the movie is blue. Talk about lying to the audience. So what's this movie about? It's a trucker movie made to cash in on the truck craze at the time. It brought us such classics as Smokey and the Bandit and that terrible Chris Christopherson movie, Convoy, as well as others. Thank God that craze died off. This might be the worst of them all. The film stars Oscar-winning actor Chuck Norris in his most dramatic role yet. He has to find his brother in a town called Texas City, California.
You serious?
California, ruled by a corrupt judge, played by George Murdoch. If that doesn't sound like a film ripe for riffing by a man and 2 robots, then I don't know what is. Pretty much the movie is just an excuse for Chuck to do what he does best. Beat the shit out of bad guys. And to be fair, there are a lot of fight scenes in this movie. You even get to see Chuck Norris arm wrestling, before Stallone made an arm wrestling movie a decade later. In fact, Stallone's character was a trucker in that movie too. Might have to review that film someday. This is also the only PG-rated movie I've seen that says motherfucker in it. I've seen ones that have fuck or fucking, but not motherfucker. And this film is PG. So would I recommend Breaker Breaker? If you like cheesy, low-budget martial arts films, then yes, but not if you want a movie that has good acting, writing, or directing. It's an entertainingly bad movie, but not a good movie. If you want a better Chuck Norris movie, skip this one and watch Good Guys Wear Black instead. That actually does have decent acting and some semblance of a plot. This is easily the worst Chuck Norris film of the 70s. Only watch it if you want some good laughs and Chuck Norris beating up bad guys. Maverick signing off.